July 20th, 2008, 420 Motorsports attended the 86th running of the Pikes Peak Hill Climb, the race to the clouds. Everything from motorcycles and desert trucks to semi-trucks and sidecars. From quads to open wheel and rally cars. Monster Tajima tried to break his 10-minute and 1-second record in his 2008 Unlimited Suzuki XL7. It was a beautiful day for a race, but the road was a bit dry for the driver's liking, with no rain in weeks at the summit. This made the gravel spots extra slippery, leading to lots of flags and a few crashes. Over its 12.4 miles, 6 miles of pavement, and 6 miles of dirt, the road to the summit has 156 turns and goes from 9,390 feet at the start line to 14,110 feet at the finish. Some drivers need the aid of supplemental oxygen to make this drastic elevation change. With all of its twists and turns, Pikes Peak wasn't always a race course. Commissioned by Thomas Jefferson, explorer Zebulon Pike spotted the peak rising high above the Colorado Plains. But as he approached the base, he swore man would never conquer the summit. However, the peak was eventually conquered by settlers and then by tourists. Catherine Lee Bates was inspired to write America the Beautiful as she sat at the summit. Eventually, the climb to the top would inspire countless generations of drivers to race to the top. From its first champion, 22-year-old Ray Lentz, to today's competitors, the lure of the race has brought people from all over the world to try their luck. With changing weather and changing surfaces, even on a good day, the drive from the start line to the summit is treacherous at best. Experienced drivers will tell you respect the mountain, or you won't make it to the summit. From the start line, racers work their way to the halfway picnic ground, on up to Big Spring, on to Glen Cove, then through the W's, then up to the Devil's Playground, and down through the drop to the bottomless pit, and finally up to the final climb and the finish line. This arduous journey has taken its share of vehicles, broken bones, and even lives, including Subaru World Rally Team driver and co-driver Mark Lovell and Roger Freeman, fatally injured in 2003. This year would be no exception, as there were a few wrecks. Colorado's own Nathan Connolly, a Colorado Rally Cup and Colorado Rallycross champion, was severely injured and had to be airlifted down from the mountain. Along with New Zealand native Marty Rotzenberg, who wrecked 5 minutes into his run. Our hearts and prayers go out to the injured drivers and their families. Get well soon. First up would be the Pikes Peak Open and Exhibition classes. Leonard Baschholz of Woodland Park has 6 back-to-back wins and drove the 2005 Ford Explorer in the exhibition class. Next up, it was time for the finish and super stock class. Like a vision from history, Triumphs and Mustangs made the trip to the top with little effort. Next up was the Pro Truck class. Rob Closer of Kingman, Arizona, piloted his Dodge to the top at breakneck speed. Then it was time for the time attack cars to rip their way to the summit. Next up was the open wheel class, and with rooster tails up, the open wheel class took to the summit in world-class style. Steve Bennett from Sedalia, Colorado, in his 1996 Wells Coyote made it to the summit in less than 13 minutes. Next up, it was the sidecars, and then time for the motorcycles and quads to make their way to the summit. Finally, like a Superman, Monster Tajima piloted his Suzuki to the summit, chasing his 10-minute record. Due to the dry conditions, Tajima was 17 seconds slower than his previous record of 10 minutes and 1 second. Maybe next year. After everyone made it to the summit, it was time for everyone to drive back down together. Fans got a chance to get up close to the road and shake the hands of the drivers as they made their way down to the pit area.